Bam.
Boom.
What's happening, brother?
Oh man, just another lovely night. I've been sitting here listening to all different kinds of crazy things on the YouTube.
You know, I've been getting back into watching YouTube videos, and was kind of inspired because sometimes I go down rabbit holes, and it just depends on the day. Sometimes it's UFOs, ghosts, demons, but I happen to see. So we've watched these guys in action before,
Yeah.
and they have debunked UFO videos, mysterious creature videos, and now they're attacking what many Bigfoot people or Bigfoot believers like myself believe to be the Holy Grail of Bigfoot footage.
Right.
I've gone back and forth throughout my obsession with Sasquatch, and I believe the film to be authentic. Now, the film we're talking about here is the famous 1967 Patterson-Gimlin footage of Patty, the Bigfoot, with the big old knockers. Everybody knows the video. It's really a topic of debate amongst Bigfoot people and experts and even skeptics of whether or not the film is authentic. I still want to believe. I don't know about you, Matt. What do you think about the footage?
Man, it seems like there's been so they've been analyzing this footage for a long time.
Yeah.
And we're talking like guys have placed like skeletons within it. They've been like, see, there's no way this could have been a person
Yeah.
at all and everything else. So man, I'm saying right now, I think these guys just made this video and saying they debunked it just to get views. So look, you're talking about one of the most analyzed pieces of footage of all
Yeah,
time, and
absolutely.
up until this point, until 2023, these guys are suddenly like, no, let's take a look at it. Yep, it's fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Could they have done it for view? I haven't watched the video yet, so I don't even know what to expect. But
Whole bunch of bullshittery.
um, I'm curious. Uh, I don't know what angle they're coming from other than visual effects. Now, if you watch the video back then in 1967, they really didn't have suits that good. You know what I mean? And you would have to pay a lot of money. You're talking about Hollywood.
Even
You know,
Hollywood didn't have suits that good.
and people that, who was it? Les Stroud, I think, tried to fake Bigfoot casts, just the casts, and he was in it thousands of dollars. Now, could they have seen the cash cow from, creating a hoax film that is that good? Possibly.
But neither one of them made a dime, hardly, did they?
Bob Gimlin did not. However, I think Patterson did. I think he made some money. I'm not quite sure how much or what, but he was known as a con artist, and he's a very controversial figure. Now, people have also stepped forward and have claimed to be the person in the suit. The guy's name's Bob Hieronymus, and he's like 6'10". So I don't know. I would like to watch the original film stabilized because I just want to get everybody's opinion in the chat. What's up, guys, in the chat?
Hey, everybody.
And see what they feel about the original footage. Because I do think before we watch this debunking or alleged debunking, we'll see. Yeah. They might go, hey, this is real, which would be amazing. These guys are skeptics. So I believe in hearing everybody's opinion. Although some skeptics on certain subjects are like, all right, man, come on. You just don't want it to be real, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Which annoys me because I always go into things with an open mind. Although I am a skeptical believer. I'll admit that. Let me see if I can get... I want to get... There we go. See if we can get this stabilized version. It's only 10 seconds long. So let's check this out. This has been stabilized. Not the best quality, but it's good enough for what we're doing here tonight. So let's check the Patterson-Gimlin film out one more time and just see what we're looking at here. Oh, let's see that one more time. It's such a short, well, of course, an ad. Neat. It's such a short video that
if you Walmart, you know.
Hold on
If
a
you
sec.
Walmart,
I don't know why the audio is playing through my my speakers. Hold on.
I'll move this over to
We're
my
gonna
mix.
stop. We're gonna go right into the video here in a second. But Matt, if you had to say whether or not that video is authentic, what do you think?
I think it's authentic. I mean,
Think so?
like I said, I've never seen a more analyzed piece of footage, and it still come up inconclusive. I think it's legitimate.
So many people in the scientific community and I say so many people, it's a handful of people willing to come forward and actually claim that the film's authentic. That really lends some credibility to it.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I look at it and I believe I'm seeing a real Bigfoot and the best footage that we have today. Other people disagree. I'm really curious what these guys think. So, without further ado, let's get this up here. Let me make sure the audio plays through the right speakers this time. All right, hold on. I do not know why I decided to do it like this. Is there any other Bigfoot footage out there, Matt, that you find to be as
Tent
compelling?
Squatch.
Tent Squatch. That's it.
Tent Squatch Tent Squatch freaked me out, man.
I found this on the web.
Hush up, Siri.
Tent Squatch is one of those ones where I'm like, it's almost so good that as much as I want to believe it, I'm like, oh God, I don't know.
Dude, the Tent Squatch was amazing.
What about that footage where you can kind of see the creature's like shoulder and neck and it's walking through the woods? You don't get a real clear shot.
But that was pretty good. That's pretty good. I'd say one of the other more compelling videos I've seen was bison in the snow at Yellowstone, and you could see 2 or 3 Bigfoot moving from back behind the trees during the wintertime. That was pretty compelling because like those trees were pretty good size and they were equally as good size.
Yeah, that one, I don't know how to feel about that one. But okay, we should be ready to go now. Let's try this. Give me a thumbs up if you guys got audio.
It's debunking time. The Bunkin' Bros are back.
As debunking experts, we've looked at the skies above, we've looked at cryptids on the ground, but we haven't looked in the deep forest where another mysterious paranormal creature lives, going by the name of Bigfoot.
Breaking news out of Texas, Bigfoot is real.
We've all had experiences that have changed our lives.
In the swamps of
I've never seen that one.
Mississippi.
Come out with me in the field and I will show you a Sasquatch.
Today we are going to apply our trained visual effects eye on Bigfoot footage.
Oh wow, are they going through multiple pieces? That would be
Maybe
cool.
they just threw up the Gimli footage to get somebody in.
Maybe.
Ernesto put together a compilation of a bunch of Bigfoot clips that he thinks are the most authentic and realistic ones and sent it our way. So we're going to take a look at this.
First off, before we get into it, do you guys think Bigfoot is real?
I want to believe. Look, I'm open-minded, but I'm skeptical and scrutinizing. Are we just going to see a bunch of shots of a dude in a costume? We might, but you know what? Let's take a look.
So we're starting with the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin
Oh, wow.
footage. This is probably the most recognizable Bigfoot footage out there.
Wow, this is
Whoa.
some really nice enhancement.
Whoa.
This is really nicely enhanced.
Wait, what the heck? They're doing our job for us. This is great.
Yeah.
If this doesn't convince you that Bigfoot is real, then what would? Because
That's a good
I
question.
look at this and it kind of looks like Bigfoot.
If you look at the scale, it looks like a regular sized human being, 6 feet tall or so, proportioned the same as a human being. If you like cut off the butt and like skinny it up a little bit, it's like exactly human being proportions. The gait is human like. There's really nothing that's not anatomically different than a human outside of just outward appearance of a big.
And the long ass arms.
Well, he's a real thick boy too.
Debunking.
He's got a thickness to him. Oh wait, you can see he's wearing shoes. Look at the feet.
Yeah, those look like soles of.
They look like boots or something like that. I think that's the thing that's giving it away right now. He's nude, right? This is a nude Bigfoot. So theoretically, we'd be seeing some sort of feet here, but it appears more like there's boots on. Or
Yeah, there's like a
that.
white stripe and a dark stripe at the bottom of his foot there.
It feels very art directed by somebody with a gorilla costume,
Dude, is it straight up just like a costume from Planet of the Apes that they got on 1960s eBay and then
Could
made
be.
a Super 8 film with it?
Bob claims that back in '67, he was the guy who strode across Bluff Creek in Patterson's Bigfoot suit.
This is the guy? Look at that walk. That's him.
Oh, he's got that.
Yeah, that's
thickness.
him.
That thick boy.
He does have the walk. I'm not going to lie.
And the shoulders.
Yeah. Here's what convinced me Bigfoot being real if I were to see it. Something that's clearly physically not human, as in too tall, bone structure's too different, something like outside of like just being furry. You squint your eyes, the silhouette, the skeleton that's driving this thing, like that needs to be different than a human being. When you have like dogs, like people wearing dog costumes, like the velociraptors, from like Jurassic Park, like those costumes, they're trying to hide a human's anatomy in the anatomy of something else. But once again, if you look closely, you can trace where a human could be in that,
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to like see something where if you trace it, there's nowhere a human could be in.
Dude, reverse knees? Can't fake
Yeah,
that.
reverse knees.
Or just demonstrating like superior strength. Like if you picked up that log there and threw it, I'd be like, that costume can't do that.
Or if he moved in just like a non-casual walk. Something that's not human, right? If everything is human outside of just it being potentially furry, it's like, well, you can chalk it up to being a costume. And that's the simpler of explanations. Therefore, Occam's razor. Therefore, fake.
Wow.
I mean, but this has been settled for decades, right? Come on.
Wow. That's the best they can do to debunk the Patterson-Gimlin footage.
Oh yeah, no, I figured it would be a bullshittery analysis.
Oh man, that's that hurts my feelings. Here's the thing. We're going to continue playing this video. However, I do want to say that one of my favorite YouTube channels, especially when it comes to Bigfoot, is Thinker Thunker. And he has a video, and I think we're going to have to play it after this this debunking fest we're about to witness, where he claims to have scientific proof of Bigfoot, which is what everybody's been looking for. And he's the guy that we talked about this before about the arm length percentage compared to humans. So he analyzes these videos and scientifically scrutinizes them. So he has a video that says he's got scientific proof. So we'll see what his scientific proof is after we watch this. But I don't know. These guys just pissed me off because you cannot just debunk a video that quick without doing some serious.
We're talking about a bipedal thing to begin with, and they're like, I just don't even see the. I don't see how you could not say it's not human. Mother truckers! I knew it was gonna be bullshittery.
Well, look at it like this: chimps have what, like 98% human DNA?
Yeah,
98%. Okay, and we don't know what DNA of Sasquatch is like. For all we know, we're 99.9% the same.
Yeah, but god dang, dude, I hope Bigfoot isn't. Well, I mean, if Bigfoot was like chimps, we'd have a whole other issue. Vicious sons of bitches.
Yeah, but let's see what the rest of what these jokers say about the rest of these videos. I'm sure it'll be costume.
2013, it was allegedly shot in the swamps of northwest Mississippi.
Oh, ooh,
this guy is awfully close. to a terrifyingly large creature.
This dude is like maybe 50 feet away. Like, you'd be so loud getting to that point. We are getting a decent look at it from this angle, though.
You know, if Bigfoots have been around this long and you can get this close to them,
I've never seen that
why
footage.
hasn't anyone shot one? Also, this costume appears to be far worse than the one in the original. Yeah, it's lacking that natural, like, hairy sheen.
Let's be real. If you're going to find a Bigfoot, you're probably going to find it in, like, Africa. Like the Middle East, like that area.
Huh?
Isn't the idea that like Bigfoot is like something other than a Homo sapien? That means that it had to have originated at least back then,
Right.
and branched off and somehow managed to survive hundreds of thousands of years.
There's absolutely zero evidence to point to it not being a person in a costume. Therefore, I'm inclined to believe the likely explanation of it being a person in a costume, and not the 1 in bajillion chance that it's a new species of ape that's in Mississippi.
Yeah.
It took these guys less than 5
Another
minutes
swamp.
to
Here we
start
go.
pissing
Down
me
in
off.
the bayou. He's drinking the bayou. So he's doing one of these.
Yeah, I can barely tell. Could be a Bigfoot, but I'm going to see anatomy or a gait or something that's not human here.
It's almost like mimicking the Bigfoot walk from the first one.
He's going like this as he walks through it. There's like a speed to how humans move, right? Like the way I can move my arm fast and like the way it shakes my body, like there's a certain amount of mass that like humans kind of have and how fast we can move that mass. Even just watching somebody move in costume, you can kind of see that. So like, let's just take a look at a gorilla walking here. Like the speed is different, right? Like look at the anatomy, the way the knees are bending, the way the ankles are, and where like the butt is, the body, the arms, like you wouldn't be able to fit a human being into that costume. It feels a little bit different than a
Because
person.
their legs are like
moves a little bit different, accelerates a little bit different.
7
You can tell
inches,
it
man.
weighs a different amount, and its muscles have a different strength.
Notice, like, because of their mass, there is just a different way that they move and operate. You know, Bigfoot isn't a gorilla, so it's not. I mean, we shouldn't expect it to walk like a gorilla, but from like the closest living thing that we can, you know, give reference to, there's a couple of things you can start to notice that could prove differences.
The proportions are entirely different between a gorilla and a person. The legs are significantly shorter and the arms are significantly longer. And you can like adjust the CG bones of a rigged character to kind of like sort of create the elongated arms. But like you're talking about, then all of the actual motions are going to be different because it's like propagating outwards to really high speeds along the fingertips.
I'm calling their bluff. If at the end of this video they don't have a video that they've created that's better than the Patterson-Gimlin footage with the CGI that they have and they're so fucking good, they better not disappoint me with no video. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Extend the arms, and it's like these guys aren't doing that because
Yeah,
they
they're
actually
doing
have
slow.
that mass out there that's resisting it. It's called inertia.
When we build costumes and props for movies, a lot of times we'll add weight to them, like prop guns, like sci-fi guns. Because you use like a Nerf gun and you'll paint it or whatever, but then you need to add weight to it so that it looks heavy. And same thing like with the costume. If you're trying to build a gorilla costume like this, you almost need to like add like weights like here and in your hands so that you have to like balance all that and it shows up in your gait. You know, somebody could do that in a Bigfoot costume, but I haven't really seen that in any of these videos so far that we've looked at. Okay, there's some good walking. There's some good walking. Do we see anything that is impossible for a human in a costume to do?
Did he slip?
It looked
like he slipped.
It looked like he slipped and fell.
I think he did. I think you would see a lot of slipping and falling when somebody's wearing fake gorilla shoes and they're a human being in a costume walking in the woods.
Oh, he just threw a stick. Maybe he tripped over a stick and was like, screw that stick, and throws it.
The speed of the arm is a totally normal human speed. The mechanics of it, totally normal human mechanics. If you're going to do a visual effects shot, like a special effects character, you need to add something to it to sell it, right?
Yeah.
It's like Voldemort not having a nose. Like, you can't do that with makeup, right? They're selling it. They're doing a little bit more to make it a magic trick. So if you're going to show me a Bigfoot, you need to show me not just a person with a costume. Show me something that a person couldn't do. Sell it. If you can sell it, then I'll get excited.
Well, at least this one's filming from the right distance here. Just as Bigfoot likely has superhuman hearing abilities, you would be able to hear a giant. Oh my God, that's a guy. That's like the least Bigfoot looking silhouette I think we've seen so far. When it comes to creatures that have evolved to live in mountainous environments like this, there's like a certain like grace
Yeah.
that they have.
Dude,
You know,
mountain
if you put
goats.
Mountain goats, exactly. Like you see these creatures, even deer, you know, moose, like all these creatures just can handle the terrain with grace. But that literally looks like a dude who's going, all right, I don't want to slip down this thing. I'm going to do a little hop over this rock here. Whoa, bounding up there. One thing to point out here, like, sure, we're talking a lot about how we're able to tell that it's not Bigfoot, but on the other side, there's an element of being able to recognize something that's human. That's like another quality that is playing here. I think this Bigfoot footage really works on that sense more than anything else. It's easier to say it's human than it is that it's fake.
You guys know where true fear comes from?
Where?
The ocean. We haven't looked at sea monsters. I want to do a sea monster debunk.
Dude, the problem there is that I'm just going to believe everything I see.
I think that's a really good one. Of all the realms of like paranormal creatures, the ocean kind of has some real ones.
Fun fact, that was a real
If you
squid.
want to share some actual footage that you have yourself or some raw video, debunk@corridordigital.com. We'd love some ocean monsters to look at. Because, you know, as we just discovered, they've only just figured out how to simulate water in Avatar too.
I was about to say, I'm kind of done stating whether or not a water shot is practical or CG.
That's what you think, Ren.
Get in the house. Get in the
Are you seeing these fake camera zooms and fake
Out of
focus pulls?
focus. Yeah. The aesthetic of the camera going out of focus and back into focus. Also the fake tone mapping on everything, like the unsharp mask.
Honey, I see a Bigfoot. Like, wait, don't chase it. It's like, don't worry.
Full zoom. It's a dude.
It's a dude.
It's another dude. And with perfect human proportions.
And why are we surprised?
I feel like in like the 70 years or 60 years we've had big feet walking around that we'd like, yeah, innovated in the Bigfoot space. Like, you know.
This is half a debunking video and half what you can do to make better Bigfoot footage for the world.
Maybe change it up. Maybe the hair only comes down to here and you get weird, like fleshy Bigfoot feet, you know? That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe you can see the face a little bit better and goes, rah! You know, like, whoa, he made an expression.
Yeah.
Or maybe you hear a crazy yell in the distance. So you can really set the
Like
mood. Yeah. But it's like a really eerie, non-human screech. And you hear it echo in the woods. A little bit of sound.
I'm still bothered by the fact that they gave the Patterson-Gimlin footage not even 5 minutes.
Baby!
He's holding a baby Bigfoot.
Baby Bigfoot!
Okay.
Still kind of feels like monkey costumes.
You do not have my permission to film my son.
Oh, it moved. There. That's wait.
I think that's a child in a costume. I think they did try to innovate in this space. I'm not gonna lie. I think we are seeing some innovation here.
Someone's 4 or 5 year old child is also wearing a tinier gorilla costume.
I think you're right. I think we still saw somebody try to sell it. Somebody tried to sell it.
Yeah.
Great.
Wait. It's in this one. It's like it's even less about the visuals, but it's about the narrative. And sometimes a narrative is even stronger than an image.
You're right. Child by association means there's at least one more Bigfoot out there.
Well, that's a cool like twist to the story. I thought there was just one immortal Bigfoot.
I'm not super convinced yet.
Well,
it might be a doll.
It looked like it moved. See,
It
right?
did. Like that first, like, but that could have just been the arm just kind of like holding it out for a moment. But it looked like the baby was like looking up.
It could be a doll. It does move a little bit like a doll. Like the way it shakes a little bit. It's like.
And it's just so static for the rest of the shot. So is the quality of the footage aiding or hurting?
I mean, it helps the mythology, but it doesn't help like the proof.
I just, once again, I'm thinking about the cameraman perspective. Sometimes, yeah, we're looking at Bigfoot, but you have to consider what's going on here. All right, let's say you're walking in the mountains and you see a grizzly bear and it's this far away. What, 40 feet, 50 feet? What do you do? Like,
I pull out the bear spray and pray.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the least convincing parts about most of this footage is just
the fear factor.
Yeah, the lack of any sensible like positioning of the camera person.
Like, there's nothing more dangerous than being 40 feet away from a grizzly bear. Like
with a cub.
Oh my, you're already dead. Already dead.
Yeah, so I can't buy most of this footage because of that. Like the context of the situation just doesn't even make sense.
Do you think we'll get like any actual realistic looking Bigfoot footage? I'm doubtful.
So these guys at Corridor love to try to debunk me, but today I'm flipping it around and I'm gonna debunk them. I stole the guy who made these sweet little graphics here, and I'm gonna sit him down and force him to make an hour-long tutorial showing me exactly how he built these templates in Fusion. If you want to check that out, it's out now on corridordigital.com. You can go watch it yourself. There's a link down below, and guess what? There's a free trial too. Bigfoot doesn't use money. I just use pine cones. I'll see you over there at corridordigital.com, and together we can debunk these so-called debunkers.
I've got good vibes from this one. It's zoomed in, it's crisp and clear.
I mean, I'm definitely getting a sense that this is a big thing. Wait, is this an actual, like, Yeti?
This one's cool. I like this one. It feels like it moves a little bit differently. See how it feels like it's a little bit heavier, like the way it sways? It doesn't move like a person. It's just it feels like there's more mass.
Also, the scale of the matting on the fur there, you can clearly see.
Yeah. And you know, there's like patterning to the fur, like you kind of see as like the texture.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know about that. There's so little to go off of. Like, this is just like the back of an animal or a Bigfoot.
Hey, that looks pretty. That looks familiar, doesn't it? I'm gonna venture that this is actually just a wild animal, like a bear, but it's really cool.
That's like a freaking silverback bear.
Just recording my yard. Hey, Bob, what are you doing today? I'm just going to film the old yard, kick back. It's like, okay. Oh, he's going to climb a fence. Just wait.
Now, will he...
Oh, he's coming back.
Does he climb the fence
I'm
taken
sneaking.
style?
I'm sneaking.
Wow. This is so clearly a dude who's just like, I want to make a spooky shot. Oh my God.
Now I find myself really wanting to see someone get really creative with how to actually get a Bigfoot shot.
The big thing that works against a lot of this is that people are using filmmaking tropes in shooting this. It's always like it's the shaky camera, it's the running while like filming the ground,
zooming in slightly off center.
Yeah,
and not actually framing up the object.
Yeah, they think putting the work into how it's filmed is going to somehow make it more realistic. Like putting a leaf in front of it is not necessarily going to make it feel more real.
Like if I was going to try to make a Bigfoot video, I'd try to first off make it clear enough that you can see it, so that I'm not like, it doesn't feel like I'm hiding something. Not so clear that you can completely analyze it, but clear enough where it's like, it's worth looking at, right? Then I would either put like stilts on or put something like in my hands with like mechanical fingers, or like have the head raised up higher and on like, you know, puppeted or something like that. I would do something to make it anatomically not a human.
Well, it's also kind of funny because that original Bigfoot footage is still like the best shot.
Yeah.
Like compared to everything else we've seen so far, that original film footage is still far more convincing than any of this. The costume and the wall and the setting,
and sunlight.
It's just it's a good costume for sure. That's the first part. It doesn't look like it's made out of like synthetic like plastic hair. It looks like it's made out of real fur. It's got the right sheen to it. Like, so there's a lot of things going for it. Not to mention the body is a little bit weirder and bigger and more gorilla-like.
Maybe it's because it's real.
Other ones are just like kind of lower effort versions of it.
Like you can actually see the detail in that 1967 shot.
Wow.
You can't see any detail in any of these other shots.
No shit.
Yeah. You know, I'm kind of disappointed. None of them sold the effect at all. Don't let this video squash your hopes and dreams.
Oh, don't worry. We won't.
I'm not.
These guys are supposed to be VFX artists, and they're supposed to debunk the footage. They could have done without all the other bullshit and just focused on the Patterson-Gimlin footage. They did not give me a convincing enough argument that it is fake to change my mind.
That was hurtful.
I thought I'd give them another chance. I was hoping that they were going to settle it once and for all for me.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. They gave us another bullshit, disappointing video.
Emotionally devastated.
But fear not, folks. I have a video. I have not seen this one, but I've seen enough of his videos that I kind of have an idea of what this one's going to be about. Now,
oh shit, Charles Bronson died.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Any more good news?
Let's see here. He was 81. He had a good run.
He did.
Killed a lot of people in the Death Wish movies. That's all I got. Sorry.
It's quite all right. So, the title of this video is Attention World, Scientific Proof of Bigfoot is Here. And in the description, this is what it says. The Bigfoot debate is over. I'm presenting scientific proof that big furry giants exist. Share this video with your non-believing friends and see if they can prove me wrong. They can't. So, that's just part of the description. But this, I think, I'm hoping this is legit because he's never let me down before. So we'll see here in a second. All right. Here we go.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all against the wind.
I don't know why we're starting with fucking UFO footage. I don't.
Hey, this Thinker. When the U.S. government leaked this footage filmed by one of our jet fighters showing essentially a big tic-tac in the sky with no wings, no signs of propulsion, no props, yet it was creating G-forces that would kill a human. Suddenly, all the UFO skeptics with all their little green men and tinfoil hat jokes, all of that got real quiet. Well, I'm about to do the same thing for Bigfoot skeptics. Let's check it out. Okay, check this out. This is from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. It says, quote, measurement is an integral part of modern science. And before I got my degree in computer science, I worked for a major helicopter manufacturer. I built high precision tools and parts and jigs for them that had to be accurate to within 0.003 of an inch. That's the width of a human hair. So I am an expert in measurement, and measurement is scientific. It's not kind of science. It's not pseudoscience. It is scientific. Okay, have a quick look at this little chart I put together. This is all the scientific proof we need to prove that forest giants, Bigfoot, Sasquatch is in fact real. Yet it's so simple, a child could get this. This is the E equals MC square of Bigfoot evidence, all right? And for all of you who are waiting around for Bigfoot DNA evidence, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but DNA evidence is not magic. It is not the holy grail of evidence that some think it is. DNA evidence is subject to human error. It has to be interpreted by a guy or gal in a lab coat, and they could be wrong or they could be prejudiced toward the outcome, okay? We don't need that now.
Let's keep in mind that they do have DNA evidence of Bigfoot, and because it is so close to human, they always throw it out like, oh, it must have been tampered with.
Yeah.
So that pisses me off too about the scientific community.
Or it's always just labeled inconclusive.
On the left.
Yeah, 100%. When it's like, and I think sometimes it's so close to human or human that they're like, well, let's just go inconclusive, because if we say it's human, obviously Bigfoot aren't human, or are they? You know?
If you see an arm length that is noticeably shorter, like we're seeing here, than the leg by around 16%, you can be all but 100% sure that it is a human. Now, looking on the right, if you see a functional arm that you see bending in the center, and that arm is 100% as long as the leg, you can be all but 100% sure that that is not a human. Whether you want to call it a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, foreshot, that's up to you. Okay, time to put my arm to leg ratio theory to the test. This was posted on my Team Thinker Thunker Facebook group by Andre T. Thank you so much, Andre. Keep them coming. It's entitled Bigfoot Carrying a Chicken. And if you look, there's a second Bigfoot back here checking out the action. And now some look at this. There's a bunch of debate on this. Some go, oh, come on, that's a dude in a monkey suit. All right, let's play like this is a court of law. Prove that. How would you prove that it's a dude in a monkey suit? You can't. Just saying it's a dude in a monkey suit, that is opinion, and opinion is not proof. So I'm going to take, here, we see its foot right there, but I need a little bit more information. I'm going to take that frame right there and measure it. Okay, so I put in a little rough outline so that we could roughly see where the arm is up to the wrist and where the leg is down to the ankle. And here are some measurement dots. And now I'll take a measurement tool and go from the shoulder down to the elbow and take that measurement and go from the wrist up to the elbow. And now I'm going to go from the top of the leg down to the knee and from the ankle up to the knee. So here are the measurements I just took from the Bigfoot with chicken, and we can see that the arm is 17.9% shorter than the leg, noticeably different. It's just like my chart. That is a dude in a monkey suit. Here's another example, also posted on my Team Thinker Thunker Facebook group by Bernadette L. Thank you so much, Bernadette. Keep them coming. This Colossus, now some are like, oh, come on, that's obviously a fake. Prove it's a fake. You can't. That is only your opinion that it's a fake. Looks fake to me, but how do I know? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that shot right there because we can see a straight arm and a straight leg. All right, time to measure the Colossus. Now, one problem with this guy or gal is the arm was just kind of hanging by its side. You know, we never saw the fingers move or the arm bend or anything like that. So it could be a fake. All we can do is test. I'm going to do this one a slightly different way. Here, I'll drop in some measurement dots. And just to show you that you could do this at home with like a piece of string where you just hold up a string. And I'll probably speed all this up so that you don't have to sit and watch all of this. There, look at that. That looks just like my graph where the arm is noticeably shorter than the leg. That is a dude in the monkey suit. But to keep the scientific and treat all the tests the same, here are the measurements from the big Colossus there. And we can see that the arm is 18% shorter than the leg. So plus or minus 3%. How to do a quick control test and prove that humans' arms are
Bill Murray.
Roughly, good old Bill.
And our legs, we are going to look at somebody who is not a dude in a monkey suit. This is a dude in a Steve Zissou suit, a.k.a. comedy legend Bill Murray. And in the spirit of all Bigfoot footage being blurry, we're going to go with a blurry pixelated shot of Bill. And we can still see where the top of his arm is and his elbow. And then we'll go from the wrist area up to the elbow and top of the leg down to the knee and the ankle area up to the knee. And here is Mr. Murray's measurements that I just took. And we can see that his arm is 15.72% shorter than his legs, roughly. So despite what some might think, Bill Murray is in fact a human with arms shorter than his legs. All right, time for the big test. Patty from the Patterson film, I've dropped in some measurement dots, but use your eye. Does her arm look like it's 16% shorter than her legs?
Negative.
And something else I want you to notice, the distance from the top of her arm down to her elbow and from her wrist area up to her elbow. Those are pretty much equal distances. In other words, it's a working functional arm and not some prop like you might see in like Planet of the Apes, you know, a prosthetic arm type thing. Okay, let's measure. We'll go from the shoulder down to the elbow and the wrist up to the elbow. And to keep from confusing top of the leg, I put in a blue dot. Go down to the knee. And now ankle up to the knee. Here we go. Okay, drum roll, please. Here is the Patterson Bigfoot. Her measurements that I just took. On the right, I've put Bill Murray's back up for just for comparison. Look again down at Bill. Down here we see his arms are 16% shorter than his legs. Just like your arms are shorter than your legs, just like mine, just like every normal, typical, average adult human on the planet, our arms are noticeably shorter than our legs. Look at Patty. Her arms are 0.12%. That means her arms are as long as her legs. So don't take my word for any of this. You know, measure yourself. Go in and grab a pair of your jeans, one of your long sleeve shirts, lay them out on the bed, compare your arm to your leg, and you'll see it's not even close. Your arm is noticeably shorter than your leg. And Patty here, don't take my word for this. 10,000 of you, 1 million of you, measure Patty, see if you get this.
Aaron asked a good question. Where did old mate get the info that Bigfoots have the same length arm and leg? This isn't about Bigfoot per se. What he's doing is showing you that humans have a known average ratio of armed leg.
Yeah.
So what he's doing is he's going through these videos, and the ones that are, you know, on face value, dude in a monkey suit or whatever, or in a Bigfoot suit, he's going, let's do some quick measurements. Boom, boom, boom. And they're all showing that 16 to 19% shorter arm than leg. So he went to the most well-known footage, the Patterson-Gimlin footage, and did the same test. And lo and behold,
our girl Patty
has the same length arm and as the leg. So did Roger Patterson know and think that much that he would go, well, we got to make sure the leg and the arm are the same, or they're going to know it's a human right away? I doubt it. 100% doubt it. I really doubt it. And, you know, as much as people want to go, oh, that's a guy in a suit, go look at monkey suits from 1967. You know what I mean? These things can't be manufactured overnight.
No.
So,
bro,
I don't.
The first video was insulting to all of us.
It was 100%. And I knew, in the back of my mind, I kind of knew where they were going to go with it. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. So I had to make sure I had something that was valuable, that people can go, okay, that was bullshit. And then they see this. And we talked about this before. I've said this before about this guy and the arm length stuff. And once again, here it is for all of you to see. And, you know, when you talk about measuring, science is about measuring. So at least that's a very big part of it.
Yeah.
And this was just far too, and he used a control. He used Bill Murray. He's like, here's a human. Well, let's get the suit out of it. Here's an average dude. You know what I mean? So his theory here makes a lot of sense. Let's just say that this isn't Bigfoot. What this is something that has equal length arm to leg ratio. Humans do not. And I highly doubt, like I said, that Roger Patterson had the wherewithal to throw those things into consideration when he created the suit or found the person to wear the suit. I don't know. I'm still leaning towards this is the most authentic footage of Bigfoot we have today.
The same results I do. Here, let me just grab a copy. I'll just pull it down right now, straighten it up a little. Look at that.
Well,
she has arms as long as her legs.
Now she's got a third leg.
And that means that Patty is not
human.
A human. So there you go, science. There's your answer. You guys have had over half a century now to take 5 or 10 minutes out of your time to do this one simple little measurement, one simple little comparison, and not a one of you ever did that. I had to do your work for you. You're welcome.
You're
It
welcome.
was seriously my pleasure. Let me ask you though, don't they give big grants out for stuff like this? I mean, shouldn't I maybe win like the Nobel Prize for answering society's oldest question? Are we alone? Because now, thanks to my little simple little arm to leg ratio comparison, we know the answer to that is nope, we're not. There are big furry giants out there, whether you like it or not, and they've got arms every bit as long as their legs.
He's like, they're coming
Now,
for you.
does this mean I'm done being Thinker? It's over now? No, not at all. I'll be trying to learn more about this, the most amazing and elusive and intelligent and majestic species on the planet. I'm hooked and have been since I had encounters as a kid. You can read about them in my book. It's now your job, though. Anytime you hear somebody saying that there is no scientific proof of Bigfoot, you need to educate them. You need to tell them they're wrong. Send them this video, make them know the truth. No more lies about this. Okay? And so thank you, everybody who subscribes and buys my bullet. All of this possible.
Thinker Thunker on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. I love that guy's content.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, Scott, I do have a beer. I have one left, and I'm planning on recording Talking Mopars after this, so I'm saving it for that. I'm really leaning towards the Patterson-Gimlin film being 100% authentic.
I thought we already established it was. That was my fault for assuming.
I always said there was always a little sliver of doubt, mostly based on we're in modern times now. We have the technology, and we still haven't found or still haven't produced a video the same quality as the Patterson-Gimlin film. I mean, Roger Patterson, do you think he thought that at a certain point in time we'd be able to stabilize his footage, enhance it, you know what I mean, and get a better look at Patty?
No, I mean, it's just the fact that people are still doubting this footage. Just blows me away.
I agree. It's been discussed, and like I said, even science has not been able to debunk the Patterson-Gimlin footage. Most debunkers automatically say, "Oh, it's a guy in a monkey suit. You can't tell." It's like, oh, please tell me how you can tell. You know what I mean?
Like those guys did. I knew they were going to say something silly, just like be like, look at it and be like, oh, yep.
Yeah. Oh, let me get one thing straight. I have one left up here. The rest are cold in the fridge. I was already late, so I only had one, and I knew I had it up here, so I just brought it with me. I'll probably go grab a couple cold ones, just in case you guys are. I see Dutch is hating on me. But yeah, it annoys the shit out of me when people just look at something and say it's or look at the Patterson-Gimlin footage and say it's a suit. The other ones, okay, I'll give them that. But I thought that the Thinker Thunker footage, or not footage, but video explaining the 16% shorter arm than leg ratio would kind of open some people's eyes a little bit more and maybe make them less skeptical about a video like the Patterson-Gimlin footage. But now we have something for any other Bigfoot footage that comes out that may be good, where you actually get a good shot. Now we have something that at least we can debunk almost immediately whether or not it's human. Because most of the people that see these things and that have authentic, real encounters say the same thing. The arms are super long. Because I imagine if you saw a human who had arms the same length as their legs, I'm sure it would look off to you. You know what I mean? I'm sure you'd be like, wow, this guy's arms are super long.
Right? I mean, you'd automatically be like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm just guessing, but, you know, I just, I've been looking for something that will make it easier to debunk footage moving forward if somebody comes out with some good footage of Bigfoot. But still to this day, there hasn't been any. So,
man, it's.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like, it's.
Why do you think nobody has produced film the same quality, like a quality shot of Bigfoot? Because the story of the Patterson-Gimlin film is kind of ridiculous.
I really feel like that was like a once in a lifetime. They stumbled upon it and just got super lucky.
But how crazy is that? The guy went down there to film a Bigfoot documentary and he runs across Bigfoot. You know what I mean? That's what makes everybody go, oh, did he? Really? What are the odds?
Yeah,
know?
I mean, yeah, that part is wild.
I mean, maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. Maybe he did go, we got to make this convincing. We got to make sure that the ratio's right. You know what I mean? Like, I wish we knew the 100% truth.
But he never would have thought of that. You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You know, it was enough of a stretch to go, why would you, aside from making it look more realistic, why would you give Bigfoot boobs? You know what I'm saying?
Out of everything, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, I guess that would be a great way to go, wow, look at, you know, why would we create a suit with boobs on it? You know, it sounds like a little extra work. You know? Did they do that just to get a little bit more realistic? I'm still leaning towards belief. And I always have. I've always been about 95%. I think it's real. 5%. There's questions.
Yeah.
What do you guys think in the chat? I'm curious. Do you believe the Patterson-Gimlin film is authentic? Do you think that is a real Sasquatch in that video? I'm curious. I want to see what everybody in the chat says.
I mean, the you can see the muscles bunching under the fur when they stabilize it. I mean,
They said, oh, it looks like a boot. If you see the clear, I've seen video of the footage, clear and enhanced, and it looks to me like a giant calf muscle. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe it was Bob Hieronymus.
I don't believe it was the old cowboy that could barely make it down the side of his barn.
What questions, Scott? What questions do you have about the Patterson-Gimlin footage? I'm curious. There's one thing that Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum notes is that, and I saw it at the Bigfoot Museum, when Patty's leg comes up, you get almost a full shot of her foot. And if you catch it just right and enhance the image, you can see that the foot is anatomically different than a human's foot. So there's another aspect that Roger Patterson would have had to think about when he had the suit manufactured, you know?
Yeah. And then also you think somebody that manufactured that suit when it came forward, but like, yeah, that was me. That was my work. Like, hire me. You know what I mean? Like a special effects guy would have been all over getting his name out there.
And somebody has come forward and said it was them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, reproduce the suit then. I mean, let's just for fun. Let me just see here. Bigfoot costume. Wow. There's not one damn costume that I think even remotely comes close to anything that I would believe to be real, no matter how fuzzy the footage would be. Yeah. You would have to go to some serious Hollywood special effects artists.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they had truly manufactured the suit that could not get debunked,
Yeah.
they'd have been like, no, you need to. They'd have the biggest name in special effects in Hollywood.
I mean, how good are you that a film from 1967 is still being debated in 2023 of whether or not it's a guy in a suit or not? You know, you might be the best suit maker that has ever lived.
Yeah, and you're just gonna be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Scott says, what was the odds of Bigfoot showing up at the same time during documenting? Yeah, no, 100%.
And that's why this guy gets. That's why it gets so much shit talk. Is because this known con man happens to go out to film a documentary, and lo and behold, one shows up.
And Aaron, that's exactly. Aaron questioned how Bigfoot got the name Bigfoot. Tabloids, much like the Loch Ness Monster got the name Loch Ness Monster because there was something in the loch, and one of the headlines talked about the monster of the Loch Ness Monster. You find big footprints, Bigfoot, easy and sellable. But yeah, most of them, it's funny with these monsters and stuff, even with like, think about like serial killers, like the freeway killer, shit like that. They always attach a name. You think it's the cops that are attaching the name? Most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's the news or the newspapers or the tabloids.
Bro, have you heard there's possibly a new serial killer operating in Chicago and a new serial killer operating in Austin, Texas?
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the signature?
Man, I haven't even looked into it that much. I just know that like one of the bodies was a guy that was missing, and they ended up finding him off a ping on his phone. But when they got to where the body was, the dude didn't have a phone on him.
Really? That's kind of, it's scary because you get, let's think about, would you guys like to see some episodes about true crime? I think I'd like to do some true crime episodes.
I would love to do some true crime stuff.
That'd be kind of fun. In today's world, you have so many TV shows, documentaries, books, podcasts, videos of serial killers and people that have, broken down their mind and tried to figure out how they operate and what makes them crazy. Do you think that there's been enough content out there for somebody who really is sick to go, I'm going to be the best serial killer of all time?
There's enough content out there now. And for these guys to analyze what got these guys caught.
Yeah.
That, man, there's got to be somebody out there operating that will never catch at all any hopes of, and will probably never even know they were doing it.
Jack the Ripper's like, who got caught? Who got caught?
They have narrowed it down. They believe Jack the Ripper was a woman.
I've heard that theory. They believe she was like a nurse or something.
She was a midwife.
Yeah, a midwife. I think we talked about that on the show, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Hey, never caught. It's just funny how now, like, how many people that have killed people that never got caught are seeing all these like infamous killers getting caught through DNA and like 23andMe and shit. And they're sitting there like, oh shit. They're like, you've got to be shitting me. Yeah. There's gonna be some there's a lot of smart people out there and some of them are crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most of them are crazy.
Oh, that'll be God. I think, yes, Aaron, I think that the Jack the Ripper case is the longest open murder case there is, or serial killer case.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah.
The Zodiac, that was a long running one, nowhere near as long as Jack the Ripper. Like nobody will ever top Jack. But the Zodiac was a long running one. I think they finally figured out who that was, but the guy died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. Did you ever watch the show Mindhunter?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Bro,
I'm pissed they're not bringing it back.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah,
Like
really pissed me off.
best fucking show Netflix ever put out.
Yeah.
And they're like, sorry guys, it just wasn't fan liked. And I've not talked to one person that's like,
right?
That was like, Mindhunter was trash. I've never talked to one person.
I think if you talk to hardcore like serial killer fanatics, like there's some people out there that are obsessed with serial killers. It's kind of creepy.
But the castings were all spot on.
Dude, I think we've talked about it. Ed Kemper.
Man.
You're not going to find a better Ed Kemper.
No. Like the castings were all spot on. The acting was phenomenal. I mean, there was nothing for anybody to be mad about.
No.
I'm going to put this to you real fast. I'm going to put this to the group. Got 4 folks live watching right now.
They're dropping like flies.
Oh my God. Now we're down to 3. They're like, this show sucks. So what if you met somebody that said they got kidnapped by a serial killer and held for 24 hours as a kid and they got away? Would you not believe that they would be popping up in every single fucking documentary about this person?
Yeah, you would think.
You would think, huh? You would think. I have a side story for you off the show. Oh, dude, it's such bullshittery. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna go into it. I'm gonna
All right, let's go.
Sidebar.
Let's go.
So I know someone that said they were next door neighbors of the BTK killer.
Okay.
And he abducted them and they kept them in his basement for 2 days.
Okay.
And they got loose and nobody questioned it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. That's his story and he's sticking to it.
Really?
Yeah. And like the families all knew each other, had them over for barbecues all the time and stuff like that. I was like, really, man?
You know this guy?
Yeah.
How well do you know him?
More than I want to know him.
Can we get him on the show?
I'm not going to ask him.
Dude, that could blow shit wide open.
Bro, it's not
Is he
true.
is he that unbelievable?
Oh, he's super that unbelievable.
So we can't bring him on here and just totally break him down and get him to admit it.
I don't want to give him that kind of stage.
So have you questioned him?
Yeah.
It'd be like somebody saying, yeah, my granddad, he was DB Cooper. It's like, huh? Like, tell me more. Like,
yeah, granddad, all his friends called him DB. I don't know. Like, what's your last name, Cooper?
Yeah, is that DB actually stood for dick bag because he took so much money and just disappeared and didn't give anybody any money. Dick bag Cooper. Yeah, I don't know what I would do if I like. How did you meet this guy? You don't have to go into too much detail.
That's all the details you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get. And on the show, yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, you'd assume that this person would be in every single documentary about the BTK killer.
Yeah, unless there was a conspiracy that they don't want him to be and his family. So his whole family got abducted.
No, just him.
Oh, just him.
And then nobody noticed they were gone. He was gone.
Nobody noticed he was. Oh shit. Okay, I'm confused here. So this gentleman claims
as a child,
he was taken by the BTK killer.
Yes.
And he was held hostage in a basement
for 2 days.
Whose basement?
BTK killers.
Oh wow. Did he say what the BTK did to him?
Just said he kept him down there for a couple days and he got away.
And he got away.
Yeah.
And he told everybody.
Yeah.
And they said, you're full of shit.
Everybody just kind of was like, oh yeah? And moves on.
So as a kid, because as a
Bro,
kid, he wasn't.
You're going to try to analyze this and it ain't going to make sense. It's all bullshit.
I'd be asking retarded questions. I'd be like, what kind of shoes was he wearing when he abducted you? How did he tie you up?
Man, it gets me so fired up talking about this individual. I need my whiskey, my
moonshine. Interesting. Yeah, that Alex. How many people are actually locked in basements right now being held hostage by serial killers, I wonder?
Bro, you know what? That's actually a really good question. More than we know.
How many people right now, as we're talking about this, are being tortured? That is sick. I never even considered that.
Thanks, Alex. Really to ruin the mood.
Peckerwood, I'm not going to lie. I glanced over to the chat and I thought it said I raped BTK. And I was like, that's some dark shit. That is some dark shit, Aaron. I don't know where we're going tonight. But
This went so dark so fast.
My God.
So, yeah, but I mean, you would think that if this happened, the family would have been asking questions, looking for them. You know,
how long was he gone, did you say?
Like a couple of days, he said.
A couple of days. How old was he?
He never gave an age.
Okay.
He just said to get a kid.
What color t-shirt was he wearing? He didn't say that. He doesn't give you details. You know what I mean?
No.
He's full of shit.
Yeah.
Did you ask him, like, I'm just like, if I was in his, I'm trying to, pretend here. If I put myself in his position, I would be obsessed with BTK.
He is obsessed with telling that story.
Wow. But I mean, it's plausible to think that maybe he did get abducted and nobody believed him, because at the time, the guy was going to church. He was part of the church.
Bro.
Did he live in that town? Can you confirm that he lived in the same city?
No, I don't know his personal history like that. He says he did. He says they were next door neighbors.
See, now you can do some digging and find out.
I could. I just don't want to.
You don't want to blow his spot out and go,
bro.
Sorry, bro.
I have so much digging. I have so much more to do than that.
Oh man, this seems like such a good. So, have you ever handed him like a little Cabbage Patch doll and said, "Show me on this doll where BTK touched you," and just handed it to him? I feel like there's some questions that need to be answered here.
I mean,
is he that? So how did he bring this up to you?
Bro, he just randomly throws it into a conversation.
What?
Man, I wish.
Man, this is so ridiculous.
It really is, isn't it?
It's funny though, because of all the things you could bullshit about, I was abducted by one of the most famous serial killers in the United States.
Dude, I wish.
For 2 days.
I wish I could go into details right now, and that's all anybody's gonna get in the live.
Okay. Well,
it's been a good show, everybody, but we gotta go.
It has been a great show, and now I want to. What serial killers do you guys want to talk about, or should we find some random fucking shit? It's gonna get dark. I wouldn't say obsessed, but for a while there, for a couple months, actually a few months, I was listening to a lot of podcasts about serial killers because I caught one, and I was like intrigued because like they went into his childhood, because you just hear about who they killed. You know, you only start hearing about it like, oh, their first victim, but you don't hear too much about their childhoods. But when you hear about their childhoods, it's like, well, no wonder the guy was fucked up. You know what I mean? And it's very common. And you know what we could get into is the conspiracy theories around serial killers that are kind of legit. There's some good ones out there. That's we'll have to dig into that a little bit more. I've gone down the rabbit hole a couple times where people say that there's serial killers that are part of satanic cults, or that they're interconnected, like some of them, not all of them, but some of them, that there's an interesting connection that a lot of the big serial killers have with the military, and that possibly they're mind control subjects.
I mean, I've heard the theory where a lot of them are part of MK Ultra.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's some roads we could go down. Third podcast on the left. I've definitely heard of that show. I think I've listened to a couple of them. There's a lot of good serial killer shows or shows that talk about crazy shit like we do.
So, true crime and serial killers are the number one. Always hold number one in podcasts.
All right, you're now listening to Talking Serial Killers with Matt and Chris. It got to the point where I was like, I was listening to that kind of shit so much that it was starting to fucking my brain up. Like I was getting like depressed. I was like,
Chris was getting. I could have had a body there.
Well, I did drive a garbage truck, and if you want to get rid of a body, there's one way you can do it. But yeah, definitely cults too. That's a good one. The fact that, God damn it, who's the guy in the Son of Sam? That he's part of like some satanic cult, shit like that. Man, yeah, you could go down a rabbit hole with serial killers. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah,
but
let's plan it out.
I need to hear some more details about this guy. So, with that being said, remember, folks. Matt, what are they supposed to remember?
It's anything's possible, 1,000% maybe, and definitely don't stick your dick somewhere where you have to introduce yourself to your neighbors, and not in a fun way.
Do not stick your dick in a portal that may put it into an extra dimension. Okay? And we will see you next week.
Could you imagine that being the first encounter with some aliens? Just some frat boy. Just whee!
Oh man.
Just waving his, like the Earth gets known to be the planet that gets left on red for unsolicited dick teleportations.
Sir, we think that what we put in this hole may come out the other side of a black hole. We don't know. So what's the first thing a guy sticks in it? His dick. It goes right through a black hole and out the other side.
Oh, I'm hearing this infinite suction. Let's do it, boys.
Oh my God. On that note, we'll see you guys next week. I'm Chris, that's Matt, and that was Talking Paranormal.
Night, everybody.